Hello.
It's September the 2nd, 2021. It's 10:30ish p.m. Eastern
Mhm.
Standard Time. You
10:30ish. I
are
like it.
in you are in the Sports Brothers show. And as you can
Mhm.
see, the Sports Brothers sister is in the building tonight. I'm Mr. 411. I'm Mr. 411, and to my right is the one and only Lacey Dawson. What's going on, Lacey?
Hey, ciao. It's all good. Can't complain.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Hmm.
All right, we inching closer and closer to the NFL season, so I know you're pumped
I'm
for that.
I'm very pumped for that. I've got one more draft to go, and I'm hoping it'll be
Okay.
my best yet. I'm just really excited about just football just coming back, and if it's starting to go back to feeling a little bit normal, even though I'm here in Florida and these people are crazy. Um,
Okay.
but at least you know when you can lose yourself on a Sunday and just all day football is just magical.
Yes,
I love
yes. I
it.
know you're in heaven. I know you're in
Mhm.
heaven. This is your time of the year.
This is the
Uh,
time, and this is
dr-
before the season starts. So before you start getting disappointed, before your fantasy teams blow up, before somebody blows out their Achilles or whatever, or ACL, or so like right now everything is possible. So I love
yes.
this time of year.
Oh yeah, wonderful time of the year. So,
Yes.
all right. Well, we had a great draft and everything the other day, and that was exciting. But
Mhm.
there were some other things that was going on this week. So, in case anybody missed anything, the
Mm.
U.S. Open, the United States Open tennis,
Oh
has
yeah,
begun.
yeah.
So what's your take so
Hmm.
far on tennis? 'Cause I know that you're an avid tennis fan, and you've heard a little bit about my background as being a the great tennis player that I was in my heyday,
So I heard.
and yeah,
I
that's what I
thought we
heard
were
too.
on. Did we have a tennis team at some point that you were on, or is there a reason why you weren't there?
Well, we could talk about that another time, but
Okay, okay, because we
yeah,
were really desperate for players. Okay.
it was a grudge match that also that I was
Oh, we're not
participating in.
even going to
Remember
talk
that?
about that. But
Okay,
I
all
do I
right.
do miss James.
Yes, Mr.
Old
James.
school.
What a great man there, and
Old
may
school
he
was
rest.
was a one of a kind.
Yes, may he rest in power
Man, rest in
forever.
peace.
And
That's right. Hmm.
yes, and he was also a tennis man too, and I learned a lot
Yes, he
from him.
was. He was
On
excellent.
tennis. Yeah,
Hmm.
so he'll definitely be proud of this segment here, the United
Yeah,
States Open. So, what's some
yeah,
of your
he
take
would.
of the U.S. Open? So what do you
Well,
take from it so far?
I haven't watched it as much as I had planned to, just because of all of the horrific weather we've been having. New York got hit pretty hard. It really did um, push back some of the U.S. Open. I think it was yesterday that. But the good tennis is being played, and despite the fact that Serena and Venus aren't there, and Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer, it's shaping
Hmm.
up to be, it's going to be competitive no matter, but it leaves the field open for a lot of other people to try to kind of step up and of course make some money. I was looking at the
Definitely.
yeah, it's like if you get to round 2, you get $115,000. So this is for the women's side. Round
Yeah,
3 is $180,000 and round 4 is $265,000. That is a lot of money.
hey, that's
But
some good money there.
yes, it's good, but they train their whole lives basically for this. So, when you get to these levels, it's starting to pay off. So I'm really happy about that. I was looking at
Who do
the brackets,
hmm
and not a lot of Americans hanging in there at this point. Um, the number one Ash Barty is still expected to win. Well, whoever's the number one seed is always expected to win. And
Right.
Novak, of course, on the other side, Djokovic, he's the number one, and he's a beast. He really
Yeah, he
is. I
is.
mean,
Yes.
I don't know who can beat him. I think that the one of the Zverev brothers, is in his in his bracket, and so they're going to have to play. And I think that guy has beat him, but Novak is just he's still a beast, and if he's beat him, it's only going to make him like work even harder.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
have you been able to watch any of it or keep?
I just got some glimpses of it. I think
Okay.
you nailed it on the head. I think Novak is definitely a major favorite, and then
Hmm.
on the women's side, who's the favorite there. So it's pretty
Hmm.
much that for
That's
me.
Ash Barty of
Uh,
Australia. But
yes, but oh,
she's
go ahead.
she's. Oh, no, I'm just saying. I'm looking at the brackets, and it's like, okay, Ash Barty's got to play an American, Shelby Rogers, and I haven't kept up with what Shelby's been up to because, generally I try to keep up with the Americans, of course,
Yes,
but I don't know why she is unranked. So maybe she's had some kind of an injury, or maybe she hasn't been able to get to the tournaments. I'm not sure, but she's a pretty tough competitor. So Ash Barty should have her hands full. We've got just a couple of Americans left. There's now she's not American, but she's really good. Her name is Petra Kvitova. She's a
yes,
strong
I heard of
contender.
her.
You've heard of her. And then of course on the women's, in the other brackets, it's like Sloane Stevens did beat Coco Golf, and she will have to take on Angelique Kerber next. And Kerber's a pretty tough competitor, but I think she and Sloane match up really well. So I'm excited to see that. And Naomi Osaka, of course, is in that side of the draw. So
Hmm.
she's playing somebody that's unranked, but just because somebody's unranked doesn't mean that they can't play. So but
Absolutely.
yeah, I like Victoria Azarenka and Garbiñe Muguruza, and they're playing each other. I like both of them, and so we shall see. And then on the men's side, let's see, we've got we do have an American male, believe it or not. Well, a couple of them still in it. Of course, Djokovic is taking on Ken Nishikori.
Mm,
Um, Nishikori is really tough, but that shouldn't be a problem for Djokovic. And
right.
then we've got Seppi. Well, we got some other people that I don't really follow, but that the Zverev, as Alexander Zverev, I think is his name, is playing the American
Hmm.
Jack Sock. So that should be a good match. Even but Zverev is really really strong. I think that he
Yes.
could. He's probably the only one that I believe can beat Djokovic.
Novak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I don't know if you know who Gael Monfils is. He's French.
I don't know really much about Mofi.
Okay, well, he's very entertaining to watch. He looks like a basketball player playing tennis,
Okay.
and but he's always fun to watch, and so he's in it. That should be exciting to watch. And then on the other side of the draw, we have let's see, this is our American Francis Tiafoe. Have you heard of him, Tiafoe?
Yes.
Tiafoe?
Yes, I have.
Okay, yeah, he's pretty strong, but he's got a tough matchup against the number five. I believe that says number five. Yeah, but against the number five ranked player. So, but he's strong. He can get it.
Oh
So
yeah.
then we've got, I don't know if you've heard of I'll just call him Felix from Canada.
Oh,
The really
I
young.
always love trying to pronounce his last name.
I
Alfasi.
see. I didn't even try, but I'll give it a try. Olga
Yeah, he's good.
Aliassime or something like that. But
Yeah,
it's
he's
it's
good.
I'll just call him Felix.
Yeah.
He's got Bautista Agut, and he's very good also. But I'm rooting for Felix in that one.
Yeah.
Canada's our friend. And then
Yep. That's my
let's say
man.
rounds it out with Sissipas. I always have fun with that name. He's the Greek. He's fun to watch also. He's very very scrappy, but
Hmm.
he should be able to handle his match. So yeah, I'm just really excited that the U.S. Open is back, and it means that football is right around the corner, and I've got some people in there that I can root for, and I'm just really excited to be at this place. Although my heart goes out to all these people affected by these, that, when you see it on the screen, you have the wildfires and on the west coast, you see flooding on the
Yes.
east coast. It's like if we could just get some of that water to go where it's needed, but that's, I'm not going to go into climate change, but we need to do something.
Yes. I tell
Hmm.
you, I mean, this is amazing how the hurricane, went through
Hmm.
Louisiana, through Mississippi, and then look how much damage it did all the way up into the northeastern part of our country. That's a major storm, and
To New York, I
yeah,
can't I
well, I
can't
think,
believe.
yeah, major, major. And I have some
Start.
family in the area, and
Yeah.
we both have family up in that area, and
Yeah.
you know, I know I can attest to some of my family contacting me, let me know that everything is okay there. They did say in Brooklyn that there was a lot of flooding in the Brooklyn area,
Hmm.
but everything's going to be fine up in the Northeast.
Hmm.
And speaking of that, the U.S. Open, there were some cancellations because of the storm um,
Yeah.
over in the Louis Armstrong Stadium.
Hmm.
The heavy rains came through the retractable roof,
They
so
did. Well,
you know
yeah, it's because of the way that it's made. It's not made to withstand that kind of an onslaught. And of course, for it to happen during the U.S. Open, it's like, okay, it could have
yeah,
happened any other time, it would have been fine. But
I tell you.
that's Mother Nature.
Yeah, but speaking, but tennis out of all the events, I know Wilburton is like Wilburton, that's like the big, the mega tournament, the big one, the one that's like, royalty and all that good stuff. But the U.S. Open to me, that's the tournament where, it's a lot of energy, a lot of fanfare,
Hmm.
and playing on the hard court. I
Hmm.
love that type of tennis where it's
Yeah.
like, big serves, good
Hmm.
strong volleys, good net play. I like the U.S. Open. So good
Yeah.
thing, even though we don't have the Williams sisters there, that
Yeah.
Naomi's there, and to keep a little star power in there as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. To keep you
Yeah.
paying attention. So I like all the opens. I think probably the French is my least favorite, just because watching them slide over all that clay always makes me feel like somebody's
On
going to
that
break a
clay.
leg. Yes. But I watch them all. Yeah. So okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good tennis talk. We got to
Yeah.
do some more of
Yeah.
that.
I like
All
tennis.
right. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Hmm.
let's get to something else. I'm not sure if you like these individuals, but if you have you heard about what happened with the ESPN First Take show, where Max Kellerman, um, he was on the show for at least 5 years, and he
Hmm.
replaced Skip Bayless to go head to head with Stephen A. Smith. Well,
Hmm.
allegedly Stephen A. Smith has wanted Max Kellerman off the show for years. It's finally come to fruition, and his last episode was this week. But in case anybody missed this or haven't heard, take a look here.
Tebow.
This is gonna be his future co-host, Tim
Really?
Tebow. Yes, Tim Tebow is gonna be on First Take
Hmm.
uh, in a not too distant future here. He was just recently released from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Um, trying to make his comeback there into
Hmm.
football, and that didn't quite work. He didn't make the preseason cuts and didn't make the 53 team man roster in Jacksonville, but he has TV experience. He's well spoken, smart individual. I think he's made for TV. So
Oh, for
don't know
sure.
if you heard about didn't know if you heard about this, but this is going to be an
I,
interesting dynamic here.
yeah. Well, I hadn't heard about the Tebow being the replacement. However, I did hear about the Max Kellerman leaving the show. Actually, I watched
Yeah.
that show, and
Okay.
and Stephen A. He's been ill, and he called in to say goodbye, but he was very gracious. I don't I try not to give too much credit to rumors about whatever they're supposed to, if they have some kind of beef with each other. I don't know. I've never seen it personally. Stephen
Hmm.
A is completely obnoxious, you know butthole, but I like him. So I listen to him, but half of the reason that he gets as much airtime as he does is because of his obnoxiousness. you kind of tune in to just mad at him or something. But I think that when Kellerman was leaving, he said something along the lines of "Stay tuned." He's got some kind of TV deal of his own, so
Oh yeah, definitely.
it may not necessarily be that Stephen A. wanted him to leave. Max Kellerman is probably moving on to a greater opportunity. I like to put it that way, and I think that Tim Tebow he's a good kind of foil for Stephen A. He's so pretty, and and I don't think that he's likely to get quite as volatile as maybe he'll help calm Stephen A. down a little bit. We'll see.
We'll definitely see.
I
It's
don't
an
think there'll
interesting
be a lot of
dynamic.
arguments. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I'll use this as an example. I know your son, your son and I remember us coming to your house several times to watch the WWE pay-per-views. I remember
Uh-huh.
how much of a Batista fan you was, for whatever reason. But we used to come over there to your house and watch the pay-per-view wrestling, WrestleManias, and all that good stuff. And
Yeah.
WWE brought in Pat McAfee, who played in the NFL as a punter for the
Okay.
Indianapolis Colts. He played during the era of Peyton Manning, and he's a huge wrestling fan. He actually ended up wrestling um, during the pandemic here.
Okay. Really?
He got into a great storyline, and he was very impressive. He had a great match with Adam Cole. Anybody
Uh-huh.
who wants to take a look at that, just Google Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole,
Hmm.
WWE, and you'll see a great match. But I go along to say this: Pat McAfee is now working on Friday nights on the Friday Night SmackDown show on Fox that comes on every Friday night at 8 p.m. And he's an announcer. So if you
Uh-huh.
take the correlation of that with all his sports and his following, because he has his own show and
Hmm.
everything as well, and he was spliced into WWE as an announcer, bringing a fan base in, and that's what I
Hmm.
see happening here with ESPN First Take is that Tebow,
Okay.
Tebow
Hmm.
mania is real.
Oh, it's
There is
definitely
a
real.
boy. It is real, and you're in the Jacksonville area, and so if
Yeah.
anybody knows, you do, because that's where he's from, and he played college at University of Florida, and they play annually in Jacksonville against
Hmm.
Georgia. But huge fan base, and that fan base is
Yeah.
going to follow
Oh
Tebow
yeah.
to ESPN.
Yeah. Hmm.
And so the Stephen A fan base, the Tebow fan base, the hot and cold dynamic, that's going to be a great fit.
I wouldn't want to
So
see all of them in the same room.
it's going to be crazy.
you
Uh,
know.
yes, ma'am. But check this out, sports sister.
Hmm.
Speaking of crazy, how about Cam Newton? How about Cam Newton?
Cam can. Well, I was reading something where Cam Newton said something along the lines of "Don't cry for me, I'm good," and I'm glad that he's good. But and I listened to you and Zachariah the other night, and you kind of
Hmm.
touched on Cam Newton a little bit, and I definitely agree with what you said that well, what was said, that which is basically you're not as good as you were, and you're not running the show. It's
Right,
not Cam's team anymore. When you go someplace, you got to make it your team, and that
right.
includes being someone that the coach wants to lean on and be and rely on to be the best spokesman for the team, the best spokesperson, have the best work ethic, have you know what I mean. You're the leader, so if you can't get your act together, and when at that level, quarterback for the New England Patriots, who have won a bunch of Super Bowls recently, then you know you don't deserve to be there. It's and particularly after the kind of season that he had last year was not impressive, and
Hmm.
they didn't make the playoffs. And it's just you had some shoes to fill, that and you just didn't get it done. And I do believe that more of his off the field antics than his were taken into consideration than what he was actually bringing to the game. It's like, okay, this is what you're bringing to the game. So you're playing about a level of, let's say, you're a B or maybe a C plus, and now your off
Hmm.
field antics will further drag down your rating because now you're somebody that they don't want to deal with because you don't seem to learn from your mistakes. And I do believe that he's going to have a major attitude adjustment if he wants to work in the NFL again. I do. Somebody's going to pick him up. There's too many teams with terrible quarterbacks out there that I was looking at. I
You
know we're
said
going
too
to talk.
many.
I was looking at some rosters that we talked to, we're planning on talking about, and I'm like, any one of these can would be an improvement over what they're starting. You know what I mean? There's several teams that are in that situation. But if he can't clean up his
Right,
attitude and be a leader, then it's not going to work wherever he is.
right. Well, with Cam, it's an unfortunate situation, but it's one of those situations where you know I believe that they can't come out and just outright say it, but I do
Right.
believe that it had something to do with the vaccination. Him not being vaccinated. Well, he's an
Hmm.
unvaccinated player, and the NFL is really hunkering down on this, and they want to make it as difficult as possible for players who are unvaccinated to actually participate. Because if you look at a lot of the different rules for that, if you're unvaccinated, if you have to get tested daily, and then if you're exposed to anyone who actually has the COVID, you automatically have to miss 5 games. So I mean 5 days. So it's hard, and especially being a quarterback, that's a tough position to be in. And
Hmm.
it's unfortunate for Cam. I think that if that wasn't the case, that's just my personal take. I think that if it wasn't for that, I think he would be starting this season off at quarterback.
I
And at
think
some
so as
point in time,
well.
they would have right. And at some point in time, they would have worked Mac Jones in there. But I think that Cam was the starter. I think
He
he
was the
was too,
starter.
like you said, he's too good. He's too good. And
Yeah.
you it's hard to name 32 quarterbacks in the NFL that are better that's better than Cam Newton. And so,
Oh, sure. Sure.
he should be on the field.
It's not
Yeah.
possible to name 30. It's not possible to name 25. So there's definitely a place for him to land, but he's going to have to
Okay.
clean up his act. And I understand about the COVID. From some of the stuff I was reading about it is that Cam actually had COVID at some point.
He did
And
last season.
so yeah, and so a lot of people who have had COVID don't want to get the vaccination because they've already had it. And
Right.
I don't feel like there's been enough research done. I don't know if it's really possible to get COVID twice. I don't know. And it's from the sound of things that is very rare. And so if you can't get it twice, which we're not 100% sure about, then it
Hmm.
seems like you don't need a vaccination. But I try to like not think I'm a doctor. I'm as smart as the people who are doing all this scientific studies. There's a lot we don't know about, and it just makes more sense to just get the vaccination and just to save everybody the headache of having to worry about you. As someone who has had COVID, I can tell you that it is no joke. You don't want it, and I had it despite being double vaccinated, and
Wow.
so there's a lot that they don't know about COVID because it seems like these what they were calling breakthrough infections for people
Hmm.
that have been vaccinated are actually a lot more common than they expected. However, the people who have been vaccinated are generally either don't go to the hospital, or if they do, they don't come out dead. That is the reality of it. So I
Wow.
hope that for his sake, for his own sake, he goes ahead and takes care of business and act like a leader. You don't have to believe in it. Just
Yeah.
do it. It's going to be mandated at some point.
Well, that, like I said, the league is
And
definitely
he's
making
not
it
the only
hard.
one. He's not the only
No, he's
one.
not. And I'm glad
Mm-mm.
you mentioned that because Kirk Cousins, the quarterback of Minnesota Vikings, he's unvaccinated, and he definitely has a strong view of not
Right.
taking the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Carson Wentz, the quarterback and that the former Eagles quarterback that a lot of my family don't like. That's from Philadelphia. Uh, he's now the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts, and he's
Oh,
unvaccinated. And I mean,
really?
so
I didn't know
Cole
that.
Beasley and Cole
Uh,
Beasley, wide receiver of Buffalo Bills, I mean, he's
I
outspoken about this too. So it's going to be interesting to see
I think Lamar
how this
Lamar,
play out.
Lamar Jackson is also unvaccinated.
Exactly. That's another one. That's another one, Lacey. But let's quickly look at the picture here. Here are a couple teams that are rumored as possible landing spots for Cam Newton. Um,
Mhm.
out of the teams here listed, I can tell you now, as you probably remember from the previous show on Tuesday night with Zach and myself, we both think that Houston, Texas, are the more likely landing spot. But I didn't really think about Dallas. Well, what do you think? Where do you think Cam may land, or what do you think is best for him?
Okay, I'm trying to think about like I was reading something earlier about the Giants. They have what's his name, Daniel Jones, and they
Yes,
have somebody I've never really heard of is the backup, and they just have that one guy. Cam would be an
right.
upgrade for them. To back up Daniel Jones. I mean, he would, if it came down to it, he would get to play with Saquon and the receiving core. I mean, I think that Cam would be a great asset for the Giants. But I know they want Daniel Jones to be the guy. You know,
Hmm.
the other team that we're going to talk about, the Jets, they certainly need a good backup because you have this unproven quantity. Frankly, New England needs needs a really good backup if you think about it. And there's other teams, that are just not good teams that need the kind of shot in the arm that somebody like Cam Newton can bring them.
Right.
So I mean, I realize Jacksonville is all in on Trevor Lawrence, but you know, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I don't think that Trevor Lawrence is better than Cam Newton at this point in time. So, I'm just saying that there's places that should be looking for him. And, but there's a lot of people who aren't going to want to deal with his nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a catch-22 with him too, because he's so good that
Hmm.
you really don't want him to be behind your young quarterback that you have starting, because then you have
Right.
this shadow cast behind that young
Oh,
player.
absolutely.
But but Cam is too also, but at the same time he's too, in a lot of locations he's too good to be on your bench. So
Hmm.
it's what do you do? And then with the part about the vaccination and not knowing if he's going to be able to
Be
consistently be your
available.
starter,
Absolutely. Hmm.
because I'm just
I think
waiting to see what happens with Carson Wentz and with Kirk Cousins as well. So
Carson
if
Wentz,
anything that happened here with
they definitely need
like
a backup for him. And but they also
yeah,
need a backup in I want to say DC. Washington has Fitzpatrick.
yeah,
We know
Fitzmagic's there, yeah.
Fitzmagic. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. I mean,
But see the funny
hmm?
No, I was gonna
What's
say the
that?
funny thing there is that the Ron Rivera, the head coach of the Washington football team,
Hmm.
he was the head coach in Carolina, and he's the one that Cam was out the exited stage right in Carolina
Hmm.
when they were there. So and then he didn't bring Cam into Washington last season. So I
Hmm.
don't see why he would do it this season. It's like
Because they need they need more than what they have. That's why.
interesting,
That's why. I
interesting.
mean, can you add Cam? They've already got a great. No, I don't see him as a backup either. Thank you, Annabelle.
Yeah, yeah. Annabelle
No.
bringing the fire. She's bringing the
Yeah, I like it.
fire
I like
comments
it.
there.
I don't see him as a backup either. Like I said, there are a whole lot of teams that could replace. Brian Fitzpatrick is not better than Cam Newton. Let's just say that. It's that's
Agreed.
just the truth. And
Oh,
I could
definitely
see
agree with
him
that.
in Washington, and he'd have to play the Giants twice and Dallas twice and the Eagles twice. You know what I mean? That division, like it's not going to take that much to win that division. He would be a great fit in Washington. That's my opinion.
Yeah, he would definitely be a great fit. He'll be a great fit on many teams.
true,
But
but like he needs a certain amount of stability in the defense, to help him out. He needs to not be getting like nailed every time he has the ball in his hands, and run over by a tank. So Washington
right,
is
right.
going to do a better job of protecting, but so it's a good. I think that he's going to land someplace as a starter. Even if he doesn't
Okay.
start as a
And-
starter, it'll be one of these places that has some middling quarterback, and they need a real starter. Even like I'm not trying to knock Teddy Bridgewater, but Denver needs more than Teddy Bridgewater. There's a lot of places
well,
he could go.
well, football is a war of attrition, and it's
Yeah.
players are gonna go down for various reasons,
Hmm.
and
Yep.
I I really believe Cam will be on an NFL roster this season. We have a
I'd say
and
Washington. Hmm.
okay, Washington you have, and I'll go with Houston, and some people say Dallas, but I'm gonna go with Houston. But
Why
ladies
would
and gentlemen,
anybody say
please,
Dallas?
well, he could be like the Dak Prescott. Him and Dak have a similar type of style. They're both strong quarterbacks, and Dak has an injury, history now too. So you may need another strong quarterback to come in and keep things rolling in Dallas.
Cam's
So,
not sitting on the bench behind Zach. I don't see that.
well, it's a temporary. It could be a temporary
I
stop
mean,
right there for him.
uh, I still say
And
Washington.
okay, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
we're gonna jump into this. But we still want everybody give us your comments. Let us know where you think Cam should
Absolutely.
should land and your thoughts on Cam.
And
But in the
Annabelle was
meantime,
100% correct.
Annabelle brought the fire,
Yes,
and
she did.
we're gonna bring some more comments in there too. We do
Hmm.
appreciate Annabelle submitting her comment, and so I'm sure she have more. We encourage you to bring more on, bring it on, and the sports brother and sports sister are in the building. But
Yeah.
in the meantime, let's do our quick sponsor alert.
Okay.
So check this out: Heavenly Spa Mobile, 2484 Ingleside Avenue, Building A, Suite 101A, Macon, Georgia 31204. Contact Latanya Rainey at 478-747-9231. I'm gonna tell you, Lacey, if you ever need a massage or you want to, maybe you and Mr. Lacey want massages,
Hmm.
you know, for Valentine's or for any special occasion, I'm telling you, that's the direction to go. Reach
Oh,
out
okay.
to Miss Heavenly Spa because
Okay.
she is
I,
not only can you go to that location, she can come to you.
wow. That is pretty
Absolutely.
impressive.
Yeah, and
Oh, I
if
like
you
that.
and she has great introductory rates for first
Hmm.
time clients. She has several specials that come out, um, many different massage techniques, et cetera, et cetera. And
Hmm.
I think it's a great way to go. We definitely appreciate Heavenly Spa Mobile for being a sponsor of the
Hmm.
Sports
Yes,
Brothers
absolutely.
show. We definitely appreciate it. So once again, Heavenly Spa Mobile, where relaxation is the key. We think.
Fantastic. Well, the next time I'm in your neck of the woods, I will definitely check that out.
All
And
right.
maybe it'll make a good Christmas gift, some gift certificates.
That's right. All right. Annabelle's back.
Hmm.
She said you was preaching. Good job. All right. Oh, here's a comment from one of your favorites.
That's my boy. Well, I think that that Cam is better than Fitz. Yeah, he is. He's a better quarterback.
Yeah.
Fitz, he's Fitz magic until he isn't. Cam is a better quarterback, and I think he's a great fit for Washington.
Washington. And Annabelle feels like
Washington.
Cam would be a good fit in Houston.
Well, I have a lot of I like that. Atlanta definitely needs a good QB, but I don't. That is for sure. We'll have to see how
Yep.
good Matt Ryan is without Julio. Yeah. Well,
And
he's been
we'll
without
definitely
Julio most
find
of the
out.
time anyway, to be fair. But
Yeah.
I like it. But
That'll be a
yeah,
great
actually I have
homecoming
a
for
lot of
Cam.
yeah. I have a lot of sympathy for Houston, but who is it? Tyrod Taylor? Yeah, I mean, he definitely
Tyrod
would be
Taylor
an
is
improvement.
he's the quarterback now.
Yeah. So,
All
so
right.
yeah, Houston would be a great landing spot for him as well. But I don't the COVID thing. Thank you, Zach. The COVID thing is just going to be it's going to like make people like stay away from him.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, you
Okay.
let's talk a little bit more about the NFL. We know that Cam,
Okay.
we talked about the vaccination situation, but did you hear about what the head coach of Tampa Bay Buccaneers said about his team? Did you hear that he said that his team, his organization is fully
Wow.
vaccinated? Bruce Arians,
That
he
is
said the
impressive.
Buccaneers are 100% vaccinated as an organization, which includes the staff and the players. So that's the direction that
Very
Buccaneers are
impressive.
going.
Hmm. That is very impressive, actually. I think
Yeah,
you have to like make everybody believe in something, and give them the incentive to do it. Sometimes the incentive is like do it or you won't have a job, but it still
right.
takes a real level of commitment to get everybody on the same page, and so I applaud that.
Yeah, well, the Bucks look like they're ready to roll. All right,
Oh, they won't
here's a
have to
game
take
that's
any
here's a
time
game that's
off.
gonna. Well, here's a game that's gonna be in your area. The
I know
Saints have to
Jacksonville
move
is just
to
blowing up.
Jacksonville. Yeah, so the Packers in Jacksonville. I mean, the Packers will be playing the home team, the New Orleans Saints. It'll be held
Hmm.
in Jacksonville week 1. So that's
Yeah,
an extra game in your
that's going to be
neighborhood there.
interesting.
All
It
right.
is, and it's going to be interesting. They're still trying to figure out the tickets and things like that. It's like how many people are going to come from New Orleans and Green Bay, and how many tickets are going to be available for local people. When people in Jacksonville are very excited about football, and they like their stadium, and so they'll show up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It should be fun. Should be exciting.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Now I know we're in our football part of this show today, and
Okay.
you are a New York Jet fan. Um,
I am.
I'm sure
I don't know why.
there's many others.
Gangrene. Yeah.
You know, you can tell us why one day. But before we get into that, Zach had a couple more comments here.
I understand that Fitzgerald was better. I mean, Fitzpatrick was better, but
Hmm.
I'm not talking about in the sense of I'm just talking about as a quarterback. Cam is the better future for any team than Fitzpatrick is. He's coming toward the end of his career, and I just feel like you don't want to build a team around Fitzpatrick. You would be better off building a team around Cam. He that's just the way that I see it. But Fitzpatrick is in a good situation. However, nobody seems to want to hold on to him. He keeps moving from team to team. What's he lacking? I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there's something that about him that doesn't allow him to stick around. So he's he's okay. I mean, in for fantasy purposes, I love the guy.
Hmm.
Sometimes, but in real life, in real football, it's like nobody seems to want to keep him around. So There's a reason for that. Although you could say the same thing about Cam lately, but actually he went from Carolina to
New England.
New England. So it hasn't been there hasn't been a whole lot of turnover for him. Although now he's been released, but I feel like that had more to do with his um, off the field actions than what he did on the field.
Hmm.
But we'll see. We'll see where Cam lands and how that works out. But again, he'll have to learn everything new wherever he goes, which is what he had to do in New England, and that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it will be, and this is going to
Hmm.
be interesting too. Here, Lacey, you mentioned new, and we're going to talk about Lacey Dawson's New York love. You know,
Oh
you
boy,
you love your New York teams, and
yeah.
we're gonna just let everybody know the teams that that why you like your New York teams. Before we get into the
Well,
specific teams.
I mean, I'm a New Yorker. That's how we do. Don't get me started on my Yankees, but
Oh,
I'm from the Bronx. but I mean, the Jets and the Giants. You grew up with this stuff. It's on. My stepdad who introduced me to all things sports. I miss him a lot, and he just was a sports junkie. So I was the same. And you root for your New York teams, and I just have love for them. The Jets are like the closest to my heart. Like I root for the Giants as long as they're not playing the Jets. But it's a lifelong love affair, really, with your city and your teams. You grow up rooting for these people, and that never really goes away. I remember at one point, one of my sisters, she was also in the military, and she had moved to Washington, and she called herself a Redskins fan, and I was just disgusted. I'm like,
oh.
at what point you're not from Washington? How are you a Redskin? It's like people ask me. I lived as I lived in Georgia for many years, and I am still not a Falcons fan. The Braves can kiss, you know. I can't do it. You love
Okay.
your teams, and we moved to Georgia the year the Yankees beat the Braves.
Oh wow. Okay.
When they beat the Braves, and we were living in an
Yeah.
apartment because we didn't have on base housing yet, and people were out on their balconies in the apartments just howling, and I'm like, I'm happy. They're all mad. It was awesome. But no, it's like I just have that kind of loyalty, and I'm a New York fan all my life,
All
always
right.
will be.
Okay.
Even
Well,
the Knicks, even the Mets.
hey, now you know the Mets my team, and
I know, I
yeah,
know,
so
and you probably
you
don't
have
want to
to
talk about
have them. Well, yeah, we could table them. We could table the Mets for another
that.
day.
Okay,
But I do have some New York teams that I wanted to go through with you
okay,
and give
sure.
you the opportunity to discuss a little bit. Since we are talking about football, the New York Jets, your starting quarterback this season, Zach Wilson. What do you think about Zach? How do you think he's going to do this season?
you know, I'll start with this. The Jets are the youngest team in football, and I will end with that. The Jets are the youngest team in football. It's like I don't really see this working out very well. I hate to see that young rookie getting put out there week one against it's just the Jets. I wish they would get their stuff together. I mean, I hope they do, but I don't see how. You know, you have a rookie quarterback, so they're going to load up the box to see if you can throw, and they're going to try to mow you down every time you put your hands on the ball. And these are real big grown up uh, NFL players.
Yes.
They're not 19 and 20. I mean, I won't say that it's necessarily a size thing, but I mean, there's got to be a huge difference between college players and professional players. There is.
Yeah, and it's
And
gonna be a definite learning curve for him.
oh, but he's going to be learning from on his back because the Jets they, they're not going to protect him. And that's why I really, really hate to see him go out there because he needs to ease into this thing. And when it starts going bad early, then what? You know,
Yeah.
it's a recipe for disaster in my opinion. But I'll still be rooting for the Jets.
All
And
right.
in my I don't have a lot of Jets on my roster. Also, they're starting with
Right. Now on your fantasy roster.
that's Atlanta. Is that Carolina they're starting with?
Yeah, starting off with
Okay.
Carolina this year, then Tennessee, or whichever direction this goes. It goes Carolina, then the Patriots, and then the Broncos. So you go starting the top,
Oh,
and
I
then
see.
go
You're going
to the right.
across. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Carolina, New England, Denver, Tennessee, the Falcons. That might be okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not looking good for them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
I see maybe 3-4 wins out of this.
if you
How
say
about
Houston,
that?
I'm gonna slap you.
I just said I see 3 or 4 wins out of
I know
this.
what you said, and I know what you meant. I said they got Jacksonville, and there's Houston, and then there's Atlanta. Those are possibles.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And if,
okay.
and when you're playing spades, you throw that extra possible in there. So
Impossible. It's
three
like
to three to
three and a
four
no
wins
two.
there.
It's two and a possible in this
Two
case.
of the possible. Okay.
Two and a possible.
We trying to get a book here now. We're trying to get Jets a book.
Okay,
Well,
well, I mean, this is honestly, it's a rebuilding year, and that's really why I think they really shouldn't put that kid out there because it is a rebuilding year, and any efforts that he's making are going to be in vain. So he's going to be taking a lot of hits for no good reason.
yeah.
That's my
All right.
opinion.
Well, okay. Well, let's go to your other New York football team that you like,
Well,
the Giants. And this is what I need the running back to do. I need the running back. I need Barkley to be at that level this year. But what's your take on your
I don't ever
Giants?
want to see Barkley do that again. Never. I don't want to see that. That is how you get yourself hurt. But the Giants have a slightly better outlook, possibly because they're in the NFC least, but mostly because Saquon Barkley is back. And if he's really back and he's who he was, I feel good about him. I mean, I feel great about it. I mean, I don't think that the Giants are gonna bowl anybody over. But I mean, when you have Saquon on your squad, I mean, it just opens up so much. It's the play action stuff, but it's like it also just it's the confidence level. It's like you like I
Hmm.
got Saquon. We got a chance to be in every game. That's the
Oh
feeling
yeah,
that you get.
yeah.
And
He's dynamic in the passing game and the running game. He's
he
dynamic.
is amazing. He's brilliant and he is fun to watch. And so I think the Giants are obviously in a much better position than the Jets. I don't even know who the Jets uh running backs are. I think one of them is Tevin Coleman. I think he
Mm,
may be the lead one.
well,
It's like nobody's scared of Tevin Coleman. Come on,
yeah.
But Barkley is the real deal. So I'm hoping that he's 100% back, and that if that's the case, it's going to make things much easier for that young quarterback. And
Nice receivers.
Kenny Galladay,
Gallup. Yes, nice
you
receiver.
know, well, he leaves me a little cold at times because he's off and on. He's always injured, but um, but I mean, I feel like the Giants are more likely to win if Saquon is healthy. They're likely to go at least. Um, oh, okay. I can. It's a little blurry. Um,
Okay. You want me to read off a
okay.
little bit to you?
Yeah, read them off to me because it's either my glasses or my
Okay.
screen.
What's we're on a low budget here, but
Mm-hmm.
we'll say Denver, Washington, uh, Atlanta, New Orleans, Dallas, the L.A. Rams, Panthers, Chiefs, Raiders. Buccaneers, Eagles, Dolphins. I need my glasses on that one. Cowboys, Eagles, Bears, and Washington football team. So, I mean, there's a lot of games here for the Giants, and as you stated, the NFC East is not the strongest of divisions. So, I
Mm-mm.
mean, if the Giants can at least go, let's say 4-2 in their division, then maybe find four of the wins somewhere else. You know, an 8-9
Mhm.
win season. It seems possible. What do you think?
Uh, I think a seven a win season might make it happen, but but for sure, I
It
think an eight
could.
and eight. Yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping, but
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it would be it would. I don't feel like it's going to take that much to be at the top of the NFC East, and I think that if Saquon is healthy, they will be. They will. I feel like if Saquon is healthy, they will they will make the playoffs. That's
Okay.
what I think.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, look, the New York love is real, and
It
so
is.
I
I
have
love that.
I have three pictures. I have three players that I'm gonna show you, and I just want you to
Uh-oh.
give me your thoughts on these players. What comes to mind when you see this player? Okay, you ready
Okay.
for this?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Patrick Ewing.
Yes.
I love Patrick Ewing. I mean, he gave the Knicks a false sense of security and all that, but I mean, I loved him. I loved him when he was there, and I loved him at Georgetown. He's the real deal. I really like him, and I wish him nothing but success.
Yeah, I think he gave it. I believe he gave his all to the New York Knicks franchise and to the fans in
Yeah,
that area. He did
he
all he
really
could.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't have a lot of all stars help
No, no,
throughout his
but
career in
he
New York.
but he made them relevant, which was really something we had been lacking for a while. You know.
Yeah, and I remember he was the first ever NBA lottery pick back in the '85 when he was
Okay,
the
now
first
I
when
don't
the
remember that.
NBA. Well, you know how the NBA has the draft lottery, they have the lottery balls. They tried to make it where it was, given opportunity and try to prevent teams from losing on part, all this different stuff. But they came up with a
Oh,
lottery
okay.
system, and the first year they did that, Patrick Ewing was well, I'm gonna say he was the prize, but the Knicks actually landed the number one pick, the first ever
Oh, okay.
lottery. Yeah, Patrick Ewing. All right, here's another
Mhm.
one.
Uh, I can't really see, but I think that's Reggie Jackson.
Yes, it is Reggie
Okay.
Jackson, Mister. What comes to mind when you see Reggie?
Mr. October. Oh my goodness. He was the man. Got again, I got nothing but love for him. It's he's I mean, he just was so exciting to watch back in the day, and he meant so much to the team. He just contributed so much that I'll always be glad that I was able to see some of those games with him.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
it's
awesome
oh,
player.
you're making me want to tear up.
Oh no,
I've
oh
loved I've loved sports for so long.
yes. All
Okay,
right,
now
here's
you got.
another one.
Oh,
Don't
don't
cry on
even.
this one.
Come on. It's Jeter. I mean, I can see his number, even if I can't see his
Yeah,
face. I
yeah.
mean, he's the man that had it all. Babe Ruth was before my time, but Derek Jeter, he was the team. He was the heart of the team when he was there. He played there his entire career, and he is Yankee. He bleeds blue. Oh, no, he
Mm.
bleeds pinstripes. Yes, I mean
Is
he is the man. He's
all
he's
right.
he's in my opinion the best Yankee ever. That's my opinion.
Wow. Wow, that's high praise because I know,
It is.
and I'm not a Yankee fan, but I do understand that they have a rich history in baseball. And I mean,
Hmm.
you're talking about Babe Ruth, and you're saying that Derek Jeter, in your opinion, is the greatest Yankee of all time, and that's high praise.
It
And
is,
that's
and I'm ignoring some big ones. You know what I mean? It's not just Babe Ruth, but it was before my time, so I can't
yeah,
I
Slightly.
can't rate things that happened before that I've only ever seen on film. I
Right.
of through my time, Derek
Hmm.
Jeter has been a winner. He just
Yeah.
has, and he always
Yeah.
carried himself, with dignity, and he commanded respect. Like I don't know anybody that hated Derek Jeter. Even people on the other teams like Jeter.
That's impressive, isn't it?
I mean, he's the guy. He was the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Very
Is
good.
that all you
Well,
got?
I thought that was. Well, yeah, that's all I have now. But I have
I mean,
plenty
I
more
was
in
expecting to
mind.
see a picture of Broadway Joe,
Yeah.
which again was before my time, but Joe Namath is like a legend in New York. He is
Yes.
he
Okay.
is Mr. I think it was a mink coat. It's just like I see these pictures.
Yes.
I'm like, I mean, how did this guy get away with this stuff? There was no PETA back then, I guess. But I told you my all time favorite what was LT, and he's not a jet. And my favorite jets were the New York Sack Exchange.
Oh
You know
man,
who that
Mark
was?
Gastineau, right? Well, Mark Gastineau,
Gastineau and
wasn't it?
Joe Klecko.
Yeah, Clecko. Yeah, there you go.
Mark
Yeah.
Gastineau, Joe Klecko.
Okay.
So
You do know your New York history. I give you
I
that.
I love my New York teams,
Yes.
but
I wanted
I
to
have
put some
some.
more out there.
Okay,
I did. I wanted to, but it was so many, so I just kind of narrowed
yeah,
it
there's
down to
so much
those.
to choose from. I know it. I
Yeah,
know
but we
it.
have plenty of time because you are the sports sister, so
Yeah, no, I
you're gonna
mean,
be on here. You can be around a lot.
yeah. Well, for tonight, I have some rather unruly guests. My in-laws are here from Texas, and
Yeah.
I don't know what all that banging is going on in there. I'm scared to go out there and look. But we've been drinking since about 3 o'clock. No, about 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So it's
All
it's been
right.
quite a night already.
Well, you're doing a great job. I mean,
Uh,
to be able
I'm
to,
enjoying it.
have take care of that end of the deal, and then still
Yeah.
be,
Yeah,
cognizant
I
here.
mean, hey,
You know.
I love my sports brothers. I love y'all. You know that. You said,
Yes.
hey, step in. I know I cannot fill Zachariah's shoes, but I'm happy to sit in and try to like keep his spot warm. There you
Well,
go.
yeah, and we hope Zach's doing well, and we know he's out there because you can tell he commented. So that's the dedication that Zach
He's
has.
good people. Yes.
Yes, very good. So speaking of that, there's time for a
Hmm.
cheap plug.
Sure.
Follow us
Sure.
on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Type in the sports with a Z, brothers with a AS. That's when Zach usually laughs then. But also
Okay.
follow us
Hold
on.
on. Hold on. Okay.
There
Got
you
you.
go. There you go.
You
And then you can
forgot the
follow.
THA
Right,
the
the
sports.
THA
Okay.
sports with a Z,
Yeah.
as Z is in
At
zebra,
the
and
end.
then yes, and then
Okay. There you go.
brothers AS.
Okay.
All right, but on Facebook and YouTube, you could type in 411 Sports World, and that's where you can find all of our shows. They're all housed in there. And this is the part that you have to come in, Lacey. And
Oh,
what else
okay.
are we on, Lacey?
Is it ZingoTV.com?
That's right. That's right.
ZingoTV.com.
Eh, Yes, we
Zingo.
there
Okay,
you
now I'm just
go.
being silly. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Take a sip and say Zingo.
I need a refill.
Okay,
Okay.
that's perfectly
But it's all
legal here.
good. It's all good. I'm glad to be here. And I guess I'll see you Tuesday.
You will. You will definitely
Okay.
see it.
Our
See
next
me
show is
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Because
And
remember, we have our fantasy show on
yeah,
Tuesday
on Tuesday. I can't wait.
at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes. Okay. I'll
Absolutely.
try to be sober. I'm not making any promises because my in-laws will still be here.
Look, just just be visible.
Okay.
How about that?
If I
But
just hold
Lacey,
up my glass.
you do need to
It's
refill.
like
I see that.
that was
I definitely see that. But Lacey, I thank you for being on. Thank you for
thank you
being a part of
for
it.
the invitation to be a part of what you guys are putting together. I really believe in you. I'm really a fan of yours and of both of you. And I just applaud that you're striving to bring something new to the table. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
and we appreciate you being a part of it
I love it.
more than you will ever know.
Okay. We'll find out when it's payday time. Yeah. That's
Yes,
all right.
yes, we
It's
will.
okay. What you know
All
that
right.
what they say is like if you find a job that you love that you would do for free, then you have found your passion. So I love
Wow.
this. Hmm.
Awesome. And this is what me and you have done for years. We've talked sports. We've had these
Yeah.
conversations,
We did
like
it.
this.
Yeah, we did it on. We weren't visible, so it was like much easier back then. I didn't have to comb my hair.
Oh,
I didn't have to be fully dressed, or at least from the
okay.
waist up. And
Okay.
so, but yeah, we've been doing it for a long time, and I love the step that you've taken this year. So
Yeah.
I'm
All
looking
right.
forward to more good things from you.
Yes, yes. And guess what? I didn't have to comb my hair either.
Yeah, right. I've actually thought about shaving this mess off my head. But then I would have to like do it all the time. I'm too lazy.
Oh, just throw it back like you got it now.
That's all I can do.
Uh, All right. Well,
But
Lacey,
we're good.
I know
Yes.
it's getting late, but I appreciate you being on,
And my
ladies and
glass is
gentlemen.
empty, so it's
Uh
definitely
oh,
time to go.
it's refill
Ciao.
time. Look at there. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for listening, and we will
Okay.
see you all on
And
Tuesday.
thank you, Zachariah and Annabelle.
Yes, we thank you all. Have a great one. See ya.
Okay.